can I have a spin-off just with Missy? I feel like this entire episode was so not actually about the doctor and just about Missy and Clara together, and that was fantastic. I loved that Missy was telling Clara stories of the doctor to help her to work through what the doctor is going to do and how they're going to get out of it. And Missy had a little bit of a Buffy thing going on there with just the steak, which I thought was fun. Episode also highlighted how clever Missy is. I feel like you're always getting examples of how clever the doctor is, and Missy or the master's just out causing trouble. But Missy's also really intelligent, and the sewers and everything, that was really clever. It also showed a lot of how the doctor and her work really well together. They know each other really well. They have known each other for a really freaking long time. So they're able to sort of build off of each other's plans. Except for when then Missy goes and puts Clara in the Dalek. And the doctor didn't realize that right away. And then he was just pissed. But I thought that was kind of a strange, thought-provoking scene beforehand when Clara is trying to talk as the Dalek and say emotionally charged things like, I love you. And all that came out is exterminate. And I know some people online have been saying, well, what if the Daleks are just always trying to say how much they love the doctor, but they keep killing him? I feel like they would have figured that out by now and would have just stopped. But it is a very interesting, new, different spin on how the Daleks work. You always see them as emotionless, but it's not so much that they're emotionless, it's just their emotions are all filtered down to one thing. I also enjoyed the little bit of interaction with Davros and the doctor, and how they almost were making jokes back and forth to each other, which is, it felt very wrong, which I think is good that it feels wrong, but it was very clear that although the doctor felt in charge, sometimes he wasn't actually the one in control of the situation. I think he was still caught off guard a little bit by the regeneration. I mean, it seemed like he knew that something was going to happen and that's what Davros wanted, but I got the impression that he wasn't sure how it was going to happen. The snakes, the cords was kind of cool. It also once again showed how much Missy does care for the doctor, because as soon as she heard his screams and realized what was going on, she just took off running. But then the sewers coming alive, and alive being a very not well-defined term here, they're just kind of black sludge. That was very clever, and I liked that. And I liked that Missy did go and scratch out Davros's eye, like she said she was going to. And then, of course, now she's left there, and presumably she's getting out somehow. I really hope she doesn't randomly side with the Daleks. I feel like that would be a bit disappointing for her storyline. I'm curious to see how this all unfolds. I'm very curious to see if they're gonna come back and do something else with the confessional thing, because they made quite a point of stressing that that's a thing that is only gonna open when the doctor dies. And that's weird. We've had a lot lately of the doctor dying or almost dying, and it's getting a little bit old. I feel like we could put that on hold for a while. And the sunglasses. I like the sunglasses. I think it's very cool. It's like an upgrade. I have been kind of waiting to see if the 12th Doctor was going to get his own sonic screwdriver. And while this is not a sonic screwdriver, it is something new, and that's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if River comes in at some point and that's how the sonic screwdriver comes back, and maybe she ends up giving him screwdriver for a little bit or something, or he needs to make one for her. But we have seen other sonic devices. Sarah Jane has like a sonic lipstick. The Master at one point had a sonic pen. I think Jack just had a sonic blaster. So sonic sunglasses could be quite cool. So I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with that. I mean, it does take kind of the fun out of it, like the point and hit button thing, but it could look really cool if you just, and then it works. So also, cosplaying opportunities just like tripled. I thought it was a fun episode. Mostly just Missy stole the show. And I look forward to seeing what we get this Saturday. Looks like there's ghosts. And that should be fun. Just in time for Halloween, as Tumblr calls all of October. I will see you guys next week, hopefully a lot sooner after the episode airs. Allons-y.